Okay, testing. Testing out this live AMA commentary. God damn. Nice. If you can see me, if you can hear me out in YouTube, please let me know. Leave a comment. Oh, come on, let's see. I'm just figuring this stuff out. Oh, come on. Bullshit. Goddamn bullshit. Okay. All right. Sorting some stuff out here on the technical side here. If you can hear me, see me, leave a comment. If you can hear me and see me, comment. Okay, so I'm just breaking down this footage recently and why I'm quitting Planet Fitness. Pretty simple answer. I tried it and it didn't work. Planet Fitness is not for me. And I'll give you my reasons based on what happened yesterday. So I'm just looking at I'm going to review some footage, workout footage, and answer any questions you guys have in the comments down below. Okay. Okay, so you can see on your screen, there's two different workouts. These are different workouts, actually, different days. I'm just looking at this footage for the first time, reviewing. Okay, so just working on flags on one side and bouncy ball on the other. Okay, the ball, the medicine ball, you can see right there. I'm just slamming it on the ground and trying to get as much height off the rebound. I want that rebound to bounce higher than my head. Like I want it to go to the to the sky, to the ceiling. That's my intention with the medicine ball. I just slam it to the ground, make it bounce as high as possible. That tells you how much force you're applying. Unfortunately, most gyms don't have a concrete wall. If there was a concrete wall instead of drywall, I would throw that medicine ball against the wall, like throwing it to the sides, concrete wall. But yeah, don't throw your medicine ball on dry walls. You're gonna have to throw a hole in there, put a hole in there. So my favorite medicine ball exercise is throwing it against the concrete wall. It's good for throwing punches, good for punches. It's good for, this is, okay. You see this. What I'm trying to do with the mat is try to set up a wall so I can throw the medicine ball safely, horizontally. Just trying to figure it out. See, I'm just MacGyvering everything, this shit here. Like, where can I, see these mats here? These are Planet Fitness mats. I don't like these mats because they're made of silicone, like the silicone you wear for oven mitts. It's not comfortable to stretch or sit or do anything on these mats. I don't like these mats. I like leather, old school gymnastic mats. Okay, so I'm trying to set up a wall, or an artificial wall here, where I can throw the medicine ball horizontally safely. That's not working. Failed. I failed here. I couldn't do it. Not with this setup. See, I'm doing it with the resistance band there, tightening it up, but no, didn't work. Didn't work. So I tried, and then I just gave up. And then in the small box, I believe I'm doing battle ropes. Okay, so I'm gonna answer a few questions and some negative comments, hateful comments I've received recently. One, Am I trying to intimidate people in the gym? No, this is how I work out. It's just different from everyone. And people who get offended by the way I work out, just the way I train, that's a crab in the bucket mentality. They're just haters. There's nothing I can do. This is how I train. It's a combination of high intensity interval training mixed with everything you see. Like I incorporate all disciplines, like all different types of disciplines. And this offends a lot of people in the gym, in person, and online. So I get a lot of hateful comments. Oh, bro, you're trying to intimidate everyone. Why are you trying to show off? I'm not showing off. This is how I train. I train hard. So, okay, so you can see here. So I failed with that MacGyver thing shit. So I ended up just kneeling and throwing the medicine ball against layered Planet Fitness mats. Word up, my brother. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Word up, my brother. Leave comments and questions if you have any. Okay, so this is like my warm-up routine on the main screen. Okay, I'm just taking a medicine ball and I'm just working on my rotation, just throwing the ball in the middle, in the center, like, yeah, obviously, and those layers of mats that you see there will absorb the impact. Okay, so I'm not trying to throw it as hard as I can because I know this format, yeah, it will still damage a dry wall. Okay, if I throw it really hard. So I'm trying to be cautious here, especially when you use heavy remote. See, I'm just layering these stretching mats, so it will absorb the impact when I throw the medicine ball against it. And that's like the best thing you can do. Second best thing, I guess. See, it's these balls are heavy. I think that's a 10-pound, but I'm not throwing it as hard as I can because I know it will damage that wall. So I'm just trying to go easy, just working on the rotation, getting my body warmed up, throwing the ball. How many sets, how many reps? I don't know. I just keep going. My body will say, I'm done. That's how I know. I just keep going. Like, if you see like Arthur Beterbiev, the boxer's workout footage, you'll see him doing this same exercise, but he does it with like a seated decline bench, and he'll curl, he'll do an ab crunch and then throw the ball against a concrete wall. So I wish there was a concrete wall. So I need to find a new gym with a concrete wall, which is kind of rare these days. Okay. Is there a gymnastics gym you can join? Good question. The closest thing to a gymnastics gym is a CrossFit gym. And I went to a CrossFit gym recently, and I've been to CrossFit gyms before, and they have concrete walls, or they have suitable walls to throw like a medicine ball, like this exercise. But I'll give you my story on CrossFit gyms a little bit later. So I'm just going through the motion here. Each side, alternating throws. Okay, double hand, overhead, in the middle, right arm, left arm. Okay, I'm just warming up the body. Okay, and this you don't have to do cardio. Like, you don't have to do treadmill. You don't have to go to the exercise bike. There are different ways to warm up your body, is what I'm saying. I'm showing you here. And yeah, I'm just keep going and going and going. So I start with the lightest medicine ball, and then I go to the heaviest. So I like to alternate the weight of the medicine ball. I just switch it up all the time. Heavy is obviously takes a little bit longer, and the fast one, it's faster. It's like throwing a baseball. See, it's not working. See the stretching mats are falling off. So I don't like these silicone mats. They're not easy to stretch on or sit on or do anything. I just don't like this material, silicone. So that's my take. And yeah, I'm quitting Planet Fitness, and I'll tell you why. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is I just set up my own double end bag. Now, I received a hateful comment recently on one of my YouTube videos talking about double end bags, and then this guy, I don't know who this guy is. He said like, "Bro, you're not intimidating. Stop trying to show off in the gym." Blah, 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 blah. I don't know who this guy was. I'm not trying to intimidate anybody. This is how I warm up. There are different ways. You don't You can warm up your body using your legs, or you can warm up your body with your arms. It's all up to you. See, I find different ways because I need like that mental stimulation, right? Running on a treadmill, yeah, I do that, but I get bored. I need to make a variety of foods. So this is me. I created this double end bag using just a ball, and I drilled 2 screws in on opposite ends, and I just used a elastic string. I tied it with elastic string, and that's my double end bag. So you don't need to spend money, is what I'm saying. You can be creative. Use your imagination. When we were kids, we had no money. We just played outside. We used our imagination. A box was a fortress. A tree was a ladder. Use your imagination, is what I'm saying. So you don't need to buy a double end bag. Be creative, is what I'm saying. Okay, so this is much harder than a traditional double end boxing bag because the target's smaller, and you can see like the elastic, the band, it goes up and down and side to side. So I'm dealing with 2 dimensions here. It's hard to hit. It's like a fly, like a fly flying around your face. It's hard to hit this target. So I'm not throwing as much power as possible. I'm just trying to work on precision here. And the battle rope on the other side. Okay, so yesterday, what happened at Planet Fitness? I don't know who snitched on me, but this weight room attendant just started entering the room where I was training, and then she saw my phone, and then she said, "You gotta stop filming, blah, 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 blah. There's no filming policy, Planet Fitness." And I said, "What about Sam Sulek? What about other YouTubers or people on social media posting their workouts from Planet Fitness?" Anyways, I've had enough of Planet Fitness. A lot of people there have a crab mentality. They're telling me not to film. People who work there, people who train there, supposedly train there. Like I told you, like recently, this fat Karen, like told me to stop filming. Yeah, you can't film in here. And she grabbed my camera and she turned it around and something like that. I said, so disrespectful. The most hateful people are the people who are jealous, have a crab in the bucket mentality, who are anonymous online, who have really just this loser mentality. Everybody has to lose. Like, if they're losing, everyone else has to lose. Whereas I have a winning mentality. If I win, everyone else around me has to win. That's my mentality. I want you to win. This is why I'm sharing these workout videos, these raw, unedited videos. Okay, so this is a good barbell warm-up exercise. Just doing like a 360, like around the clock, pushing and pulling. Okay, I'm just moving the bar in all axis rotation, like a clock, and from behind the back. Very good warm-up. Very good warm-up. That's a 20-pound weighted fixed barbell. So I'm not trying to intimidate anyone. I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm not trying to critique anyone. Here's another thing. I don't leave any hateful comments online whatsoever. Even if I have like a bad experience from, like, say, a restaurant, I'm not one of those people to go online and leave a negative 1-star Google review. I'm not one of those people that has a product from Amazon and it was the worst product or it made me sick, and I would go online to Amazon and I would write up a detailed essay of a 1-star negative review. I'm not one of those people. I just move on. And that's another thing I got to teach you guys. If you have any negative comments online, you got to stop it. You have to stop it. Don't go into that mentality. It's like, for me, leaving negative comments online, no matter what format, on Google, on YouTube, on Amazon, on forums, whatever, it's like putting graffiti on someone else's property. That's how I feel about negative comments. Like, those words will bite you in the butt later on in life. I don't know, 20 years from now, you will look back and you say, oh, I was so stupid leaving that negative comment or graffitiing that property, right? That's my mentality. So I don't leave any negative comments on anybody. online. And if I do critique anyone like Graham Stephan, it's because I'm calling out bad behavior. Like Graham Stephan, I said, was a scammer. He scams people, obviously, because he shills any product that pays him, right? Well, I called him out. Check him. I check bad behavior. That's the thing. But I don't hate Graham Stephan. I want him to change. I want him to be better. It's just like a parent disciplining a child. You don't hate the child. You just check the bad behavior. So I want that child to do better, behave better in the future. So I will call them out on bad behavior. So that's what I'm saying. I don't hate anybody. I don't hold grudges online or offline. And anyone who critiques me in person, my face, or online, I don't hate them. But I don't let them graffiti my work or anything that I put out online. It's like me, right now, if you're watching this, you are entering my home as a guest. You're a visitor, and I'm showing you, I'm teaching you the ways of how I train so you can be a stronger person. So if someone I invite to my house comes in and walks around my house with dirty shoes on or starts spray painting graffiti all over my walls or breaking my dishes or breaking stuff, that's what negative comments to me is like. So if you leave negative comments, you got to stop it. Delete all your negative comments online, whatever format, Reddit, YouTube, Amazon, Instagram, whatever. You got to cut that shit out, okay? No room for negativity, only positive, okay? Critique, call people out, yes. But again, ooh, barbell. So warming up the arms. This is how I warm up the arms with the fixed barbell, spinning the barbell. Am I trying to show off? No. This is how I warm up. It's different from you, but this is how I warm up. Okay? Get that in your mind. I'm not trying to show off. This is how I train. And you can do the same thing if you listen and learn. Okay? This is why I'm showing you. There's more to life than walking on a treadmill. All right? You don't have to be complacent and do the boring stuff that everyone else does, because I find most people boring in life in general. Like, okay, I have millions of dollars in my bank account. So what? I have a nice car. So what? I have a nice house. So what? I've met these people. They are boring. Boring. What you do is more interesting, okay? Do something interesting. I surf. Oh, that's interesting to me. I b-boy. Oh, that's interesting. I do Krav Maga and BJJ. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, do something interesting is what I'm saying, okay? So I'm showing you there's more to fitness than just bodybuilding, lifting weights, all that standard stuff. There's different ways to work out. So I hope this gives you an open mind. So I'm just warming up here with the legs, hip flexors, okay? Just grab something, lean over, and swing your legs side to side like a pendulum, and those are dragon flags. You can see I love doing dragon flags on the flat platform. Why? Because I used to do dragon flags on like a bench, but the cushion is so soft, and your body sinks into the cushion. It's hard to grab the cushion after a while. It's like grabbing a pillow. You're squeezing a pillow. Whereas with that steel pole and the flat steel platform, yeah, nothing moves. I just love that cold steel grabbing on. Oh, okay. Now, on the left, you'll see I have like an orange microfiber towel. And this is what I use for neck curls, okay? See, I know people online, they advocate using like a neck harness, but you don't need that. I've tried it. It looks so awkward. Too much equipment. I want to carry as much equipment to the gym as possible. So just bring a simple towel. Okay, as you can see, it's strong enough to hold a 20-pound dumbbell in my mouth. Okay, so Naoya Inoue, the boxer from Japan, look him up. He does this exercise. You just use a towel, you grip it with the back of your teeth, both ends, and you just crank it. And what I like about using the towel is it strengthens your jaw muscles as well as your neck. So if you use a neck harness, the chains are from they dangle from your temples here, And I don't like having chains dangling from my eyeballs. That looks so sketchy and dangerous for me. Okay, especially when I use really heavy weights. I don't want steel chains dangling from my eyeballs that close. So this is, in my opinion, much safer to perform than using like a neck harness strap that you see that people sell. Very simple. All right, and just crank it. I'm sitting on a rowing machine here because all the benches were taken, and that's fine. So I improvise. I find a space that's open and I take it. I don't need to use a bench to do this exercise. I just need somewhere to sit. So look at that. And I'm stretching, always stretching. One shoulder, one arm here. Here. Okay. And these are all exercises that stimulate not only the body, not only the muscles, but the mind. Okay. I think that people neglect training their mind. When I say mind, I say like, how far can I push the human body? What is the limit for me physically? And I'm not talking about just weight. Like I know you can bench like 200 pounds, 201 pounds, 203 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. That is one form of mental training. Yeah, going further with weights. But there are other ways to train or challenge yourself physically. Like what I do is like I go on to that bar on top. By the way, I'm just stretching my lats here. I go into that bar and I do handstand push-ups. Why? Because I find it challenging. Why do I do this handstand press from 2 dumbbells? Because I find it challenging. Is it scary? Yes. Is it embarrassing? No. Does it get a lot of attention and eyeballs from people around you in the gym? Yes, but I don't care about them. See, this is another form of mental challenge, like getting over the fear of what other people will say or think about you. A lot of people I know like are really scared to do muscle ups or handstands in the gym because they're afraid of how other people will see them, judge them. I can see like when people get into like they're trying to commit to a handstand, one handstand, they start thinking about the people around them. Oh my God, the people are looking. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay, that's me checking. Oh yeah. Nobody cares. And if they do care, then they don't really have much going for them in life. Or usually they laugh or snicker and they say, hey, look what he's doing. He's trying to show off. Blah, blah, blah. I've gotten so many of those kids and haters and people, average, boring people, say passive aggressive shit or compliments or genuine compliments, which is kind of hard these days. It's kind of grayish for me because people will say, hey, great handstand. And sometimes it's a genuine compliment and sometimes it's just passive aggressive behavior. They're just, hey, nice handstand. Like, I don't know how to take that. Which way are you trying? Are you trying to provoke me or are you trying to compliment me? Or I get that attitude. So I just ignore people. I ignore most people. Fuck them. Fuck them and their boring fucking workouts, right? That's just leave me be and I leave you be. Be respectful. Like you're doing your squats. Hey, go for it. Are you filming your squats? Hey, go for it. I'll try to get out of your shot. This fat Karen, she was doing a completely different exercise and then she saw my camera and I was filming myself. And she got offended. And then she had to interrupt her workout in order to tell me off. Stop filming in the gym. It's not nice. Blah, blah, blah. It's like I'm filming my workout. Zirak Khan. Justin, what do you eat in a day? And how often do you have a cheat meal? Oh, good question. A lot of people ask you, what do I eat in a day? All right. So simple answer is chicken breast, broccoli, chicken breast, broccoli, chicken breast, broccoli, chicken breast, broccoli, chicken breast, broccoli. Sing that into your head. I know it sounds silly. I know it's simple, but that's the truth. I eat chicken breast and broccoli, chicken breast and broccoli. I get a pack of fresh chicken breast from the supermarket, and I get a big bulky bag of frozen broccoli from the supermarket. I can fry them, I can bake them, cook them whatever way, right? There's so many different ways. Seasoning and all that. But those are the two main components, chicken breast and broccoli. Chicken breast and broccoli. Steak is like dessert these days because it's so goddamn expensive. So I eat ground beef instead, lean ground beef. If you think about like athletes' diets, MMA diets, they all overlap each other, right? They're all eating like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh meats, poultry, right? No athlete is eating pork. No athlete is eating donuts, right? And I'm trying this Monster Strawberry 0 calorie, which I know is not good for me. But I need something with a little bit of bubbles in it to keep me going. Because black coffee, I drink black coffee, but it doesn't keep me awake. It just makes me poop. Okay, so all of this is just me going with the flow. My body says, I want to go into a handstand, Justin. Okay, I say, okay, let's do it. I want to stretch my lats, Justin. Okay, let's do it. I want to pace. And I want to take a break. I want to breathe before I do the next exercise, Justin. Okay, let's do it, right? I'm just listening to my body. So my body is in control right now. Not me, my body. How many times are you listening to your body versus vice versa? My body's like, yeah, I want to do that. Like a child. Someone commented in the previous video that I'm like a kid with ADHD in a gym. It's like, yeah. Remember, I think back to when you were a child. You had no restraints, no hesitations. You didn't care about what anyone said. Your mom, your peers, and people around you. You didn't care. You just played. You just did whatever. And did you hurt yourself sometimes? Yeah. But did you have fun? Of course you did. But you didn't have any of that doubt in your mind when you were a child. You just kept going and you had fun and you played. That's what I'm doing. I'm just playing. I'm not thinking 4 sets of 10. I must do leg day. I must do push day today. No, I'm just listening to my body. My body says, I want to do this, Justin. I'm listening to my environment. It's like, okay, this area of the gym is packed. Okay, I got to find somewhere that has space. I will go to this area. Right? I saw one guy in another gym in a previous session. This guy was on leg day, obviously, and he waited for these 2 kids to finish their workout on the squat rack. He stood there. I'm seriously. He stood there for 20 minutes waiting. He just stood there like a statue. He stood there in front of the squat rack, in front of these 2 kids training their legs on a squat rack for 20 minutes. He just stood there. I watched him stand there like a statue, waiting. He didn't do anything but just stand there like this, like waiting. I was on an exercise bike seeing this whole thing unfold. I was so pissed off. I just wanted to shout at him. It's like, go do something else. Do some bodyweight squats. Grab some dumbbells. Do some dumbbell squats. Grab a fixed barbell. Do some barbell squats. Anything except stand there like an idiot for 20 minutes doing nothing like a statue. Keep flowing. Like water doesn't stand still. It flows. It moves. When you commit to training, exercising, do it all the way. This is what I'm saying. Don't stop. So how often do I have a cheat meal? Whenever I want. Like sometimes, like last night I had a bag of dill pickle chips. Because I just felt like having dill pickle. Okay, so I just saw this and I was like, my instinct, my body told me, hit it. Because the boxer in me is like, okay, hit it. Okay, it's a little bit low as you can see. So I was like, okay, I had to squat lower, and that's fine. I can do body shots on it. But it's great for hitting. I don't see anyone else hitting it. I was like, that's perfect for hitting. And it toughens your knuckles. I know it's not soft, but I just hit it and it's fun. So you can train your knuckles. That's what I'm saying. So this moron just stood there 20 minutes like a statue, waiting for these kids to finish their squat exercise on the squat rack so he can use it next. I just can't stand people who lack imagination. Just use creativity, especially when you're in a crowded gym. You don't have to be one of those knobheads that line up for the squat rack waiting because it's your leg day or because it's push day. So I have to think this way. It's the only way. It's like you can drive. If you drive a car, if driving for many years, you know what I'm talking about. You have to adapt to the traffic. Sometimes when the whole highway is bumper to bumper traffic, you have to take an off-road. Find an alternate path. Do you want to be one of those knobheads that sits in traffic for hours just because that's what everyone else is doing? So find different ways. Use creativity. Use your mind. Train your mind. Other cheat meals. Off the top of my head, I like drinking Korean makgeolli. Makgeolli. Okay, here's me. Like I told you, I climbed that pole. See, this station here has a ring on the top, and my goal is to do handstand push-ups on it. Why? Because that's how I find mental stimulation. Like, this is how I train my mind. Is it scary? Yes. Is it challenging? Yes. No one else can do it? Yes. Are people looking at me? Yes. Do I care? No, I don't care. I have to cut through all of that bullshit. There's more to life than just, there's more challenging things in life than just resistance or muscle fatigue. There's also peer pressure. The people around you will sneer, gawk, laugh, talk behind your back, talk shit behind your back. I had a lot of people that regulars in the gym talk shit behind my back, and I hear them talk shit behind my back. Oh, that guy does handstand. Oh yeah, bro, that guy does blah, 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 blah. Yeah. By the way, I play golf. Blah 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 blah. Golf is boring. Blah 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 blah. Boring life. Those people are haters, and they have no hesitation to talk shit behind my back while I am in their presence. And what do I say to them? Nothing. What do I do? Nothing. I just ignore them. I'm so used to most people hating on me, being jealous of me, crab in the bucket mentality. And you know what? The funny thing, the most ironic thing is, if they ask for my help, I help them. I genuinely and generously give my time and my teachings for free to them. And they just stab me in the back. Okay, this is me using the tennis ball. So I used to use a hat. And I found that the hat, one disadvantage of using a hat for this, you've seen like other boxers like Lomachenko use this. When you use a hat, it overheats your head, the top of your head. So I find that when you use a bandana, there's no overheating. So there you go. Use a bandana. So I just tied a bandana around my head. And this is me just flowing, okay? I'm taking a break from whatever other previous exercise I did so I can do this, okay? Just breather. Instead of just pacing around like an apex predator, there are other ways, okay? Stretching, yeah, is one. But the ball is another. And it works great, by the way. The bandana and tennis ball. I know I've tried other versions of this ball. Like there's the black rubber ball. It's like a racket ball, which is a lot lighter, but very hard to hit. I don't recommend that one because it just goes everywhere. If you tap it like a little bit, it flies everywhere. There's no consistency. And then there's a red rubber ball version of this, which is harder, it's heavier, but slower. It's too slow in my opinion. So I find the tennis ball to be just the right consistency. It's like it's in the medium weight, and it bounces and reacts and comes back just in the middle, just right. So tennis ball. This is me just flowing, okay? Just hitting that. Like, you don't need a heavy bag to perform punches. This is what I'm showing you here, demonstrating. You can punch a wall if you wanted to, but not too hard. But see, I'm just tapping that rubber pad. And I like it. It's firm. And it's not going to cut my knuckles up and bleed everywhere. Okay? It's just, I need something. But the thing is, it rattles the whole station there. All those bars are connected to that rubber pad. So the whole thing, pong, pong, pong kind of sound. So beware. It makes a lot of loud noise. And this is me just, there you go. Flag. Warm up. Okay, so that pole is hard to grip because it's bigger. Okay, usually a smaller pole or handles facing horizontal are easier to grip. I'm just playing around, okay? It's like I failed. I'll do it again. Failed, do it again. If you can hear me, if you have questions, please comment down below, by the way. See, grabbing that, failed. See, sometimes your flag will veer off to one side. Okay, so you have to deal with like a vertical and a horizontal component. It's like sometimes, your legs will just, this starts swinging like a flag, like a regular flag. Just playing around. So, what do I eat in a day? So chicken breast, broccoli, what else do I eat? So think of all the frozen greens in your supermarket. So frozen broccoli, frozen peas, frozen green beans, frozen spinach, frozen kale, frozen asparagus. Think of all the frozen greens. Okay, I buy a lot of frozen greens. Carrots, sometimes, but carrots are too sweet. Like corn, again, not much nutrition compared to greens. So think of greens, frozen greens. Okay, why frozen? Because I find it more convenient versus like fresh greens, right? Fresh greens, you gotta wash them, soak them, get the bugs out, and you gotta prep them, you gotta chop them up, you gotta get rid of the roots, throw away the roots, dispose the roots. Like frozen greens are all prepared for you, so you don't have to worry about all that prep. So that's why I do frozen greens. Put them in a pan, extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, chopped garlic, fresh cut onion, fresh cut, I don't know, some seasoning, oyster sauce, soy sauce, basil, parsley, cilantro. I like cilantro. Yeah, just to your heart's delight. Different seasonings. Try different seasonings. Chili sauce, Tabasco sauce sometimes, hot sauce, any kind of barbecue sauce, any kind of sauce. Try to, if you want to go, if you're health conscious, try to go for like the 0 calorie or 0 sugar sauces. You'll see like them marked like 0 sugar or reduced sugar. Try to go for those options. Chicken breast, lean ground beef, canned tuna, canned mackerel, canned sardines, canned oysters, canned mussels, canned crab meat. Why canned? Because it's easy to make. It's canned, right? Versus going to a seafood section and getting a live crab or live lobsters, and you gotta prepare them, shuck them, get rid of the shells. All that prep work is just a waste of time, in my opinion. So I go for the fast option. And if I want fresh oysters, I go to a restaurant. But I don't really eat out in in the Western world. I don't eat out. I used to eat out all the time in Asia. When I was in Thailand, Korea, Malaysia, Taiwan, I would eat out because there's so many good options and it's cheap and there's no tax or tipping bullshit and no overprices. compared to here in Western Canada, forget this. I don't want to eat out. Like, eating out in Canada is a scam now. It's just too expensive. And they expect you to tip. I remember in one restaurant, this server, she did like a mediocre job, and it was mediocre food. So I gave her a mediocre tip, and then she looked at me and was like, "Was everything not good or something?" And she gave me that look, like, "What the fuck?" Look. She was expecting more tips. That kind of attitude just threw me off. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to deal with this bullshit. Like, people in Korea that work in the food service industry, they don't earn tips. They earn less than minimum wage, and they are more respectful, they're more grateful, they're more polite compared to Western service. That's my experience. And I've lived in Korea for 8 years, so. Another thing is I want to go back to Korea. I want to go back to Thailand. I want to go back to Malaysia. I want to live in these countries and make these videos for you there. That's my goal. And that's why I'm working on my YouTube channel. Because I can't live here in Canada anymore. I can't stand Canada. Can't afford McDonald's here in Canada. Jesus Christ. Like a $20 Happy Meal or something. Like, here's the thing about McDonald's. Like, I don't eat at McDonald's, but if I do, this is what I order, if in case you're wondering. I order one double hamburger. Why? Because it has the ground beef in it. That's all I want. I want the ground beef. I want the protein. Forget the bun, forget the sauce and all that. I just want the beef. So if I want more flavor, I'll get the McDouble because it has that slice of cheese in it. But yeah, that's all I order at McDonald's. I don't order Big Macs, or Big Mac has so much. God, that Thousand Island sauce is garbage. But Big Mac has lettuce. So do you see what I'm getting at? I order certain burgers based on like what I want in it. I want the lettuce. I want the ground beef. If McDonald's had an option to give me just lettuce and ground beef, that's what I would order. I don't need the bun. The bun is crap. The sauces are crap. The cheese is just dessert for me. I don't order like cola or fries. That's garbage. And here's the thing. So McDouble or a double hamburger, that's what I order at McDonald's. I just eat that hamburger. I don't eat fries, cola, no ice cream or shakes or any of that garbage. And here's the thing about restaurants. I used to work in the restaurant industry. I know what restaurants are like, inside and out, as a business. I know what it's like. I've seen the rats. I've seen the degenerates that work behind the counter. The people that are cooking your food. Chain smokers. This is a problem. When you go to a restaurant, whether it's McDonald's or a fancy restaurant or I don't know, wherever you eat out, do you know who's cooking your food? Do you know who's preparing your meals? Do you know if they wash their hands? Do you know if they're a smoker or a meth or a crack addict or whatever? Do you know who's making your food? Think about that. So most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the person who's making your food is a chain smoker. Why? Because the food industry is very stressful and everyone is stressed, high strung. So they need to unwind by smoking. They smoke. So imagine someone is preparing your food. They are breathing onto your food. Yes, some of them wear masks, face masks. Yes, we've seen that. But eventually, that secondhand smoke breath is going onto your food. And I've gotten sick so many times from eating out, whether it's a McDonald's or a fine restaurant or media and somewhere in between. I get sick a lot eating out. So the only way you can control your food, your diet, is by buying your own food and preparing your own food. So you know what's in it. Do you know how much salt content is in your food? Do you know how much sugar content is in your food? Do you know what kind of oil is being used to cook your food? Is it cheap peanut oil that will rot your intestines, or is it high quality extra virgin olive oil, which is good for you? That's another thing. I got fat in Thailand because I ate in food courts, and I ate like regular fried rice, like just lamb or pork, beef, chicken meals, right? Simple meals. But the reason I got fat in Thailand was because of the cheap oils that they use and so much sugar they coat their foods with. I learned firsthand is that most hot countries, the way that hot countries deal with the heat from falling asleep is they add more spice or more sugar into their foods so that they can stay awake. It's simple, right? Because when you're in a hot country, or if you're like summer these days, what happens to you? You doze off. You start getting sleepy. Okay, so the foods you eat need to keep you awake. So how do they do that? Okay, you can drink like iced coffee. Ice, obviously, will help you keep you awake. Spice will keep you awake, or sugar. Just add more sugar, add more spice, add more ice. So that's how I got fat in Thailand, because of eating these food court meals, which I thought were healthy, like fried rice, simple Chinese fried rice. They were using cheap oil and a lot more sugar, a lot more soy sauce, more salt, a lot more seasoning to keep people awake. So I had to learn to cook my own meals in Thailand, which was hard because you get a small stove and small kitchen wherever you stay. So it's very hard to prep. And you got so much food you got to dispose, like, roots and all that, cleaning all that. So, let me see here. Look at the comments. Creed236. Yes, I want to move to Thailand from USA. Yeah, go for it. There's a way. I lived in Thailand before, and I could do it again. You can as well. I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people, but I'm going to say this. Canada is overrated. The immigrants own everything here. There's just too many third world immigrants and refugees here. There's just too much competition for everything. And the problem is, when there are more guests versus hosts, the guests become roaches. And what happens when your house is infested with roaches? Then you can either leave or dispose of them, which is hard. It's like, how do you dispose of all these third world refugees taking over your land? Great thing about Thailand, I know Thailand is not perfect. Thailand is not perfect, obviously. Here's what I like about Thailand. At least the government has the balls to kick people out or restrict foreigners from taking over their land. Versus Canada. Canada is just like in welcoming everyone and just like, yeah, take over. Please conquer us. Kind of attitude. Like, just take over everything. Take all our jobs, take all our houses, take all our resources. And yeah, throw away our rules. Drive the way you drive in your country. Act the way you act in your third world country. Harass people the way you harass people in your own third world country. Cause all the problems that you want to cause, that you usually do get away with in your third world country. We're fine with that. That's Canada now. I'm not just talking about Vancouver. I'm talking about all of the Western world. It's clown world here. I've said this many times in my mind, and I don't know, most people that I come across just don't see it the way I see it, or they're too scared to admit it. I think it's the first, right? They're too scared to admit it. Or what was it? No, the first is they don't see it. Okay? And these are the people, these woke people that will leave negative comments, harass you, leave death threats, criticize you on, leave negative reviews online. Okay, so this leads me back to the beginning of this conversation. If you have anything negative to say online, be respectful. Okay, you can criticize people, but you don't have to offend them. Like, you're an asshole, Justin. End of comment. You're just graffitiing my home. Okay, I let you into my home. You're just walking around with your dirty shoes and your graffiti all over my house. Attitude. Okay, versus, Justin, filming in a gym is not right. It's not appropriate. Some people don't like it, and I say, yeah, I agree. That's your stance. That's a conversation, right? That's not an argument. It's conversation. See? Oh, good. Rear delt. Love this exercise. Okay, light weights, very hard to perform with heavy weights. It's not supposed to be heavy weights. Just perform it. I'm just alternating. There you go. Okay, try this out. Okay, incline. You can lean over a bench if you want to. But these are 5-pound dumbbells, right? So just going for the volume here. And these are hard. It's very good for MMA, good for swimming, good for everything. Because you neglect, like, we work the front shoulder, front delts, side delts, but rarely do people work out the rear delt because it's just, you can't see it. So do I film myself for rage bait? No. Do I film myself in the gym for TikTok? No. Do I film myself for attention? No. I'm filming for you guys to teach you guys how I train. So my actions speak versus whatever I say to you. So I can tell you I do 100 push-ups. Yeah. But if I showed you I do 100 push-ups, then it speaks louder. So I do rear delts. Yeah. I will show you how I do rear delts. That speaks louder. So I need to show you. Like, yeah, I can go to the park and film this if I had to. But I'm not in a park. I'm training in a gym. And this is why I'm quitting Planet Fitness, because they don't allow me to film anymore. Which is strange, because they film us. There's cameras everywhere filming us. So why can't I film myself as well? And I know a lot of people will argue, oh, it's illegal to film yourself in a private place. Justin, people, you need consent from them. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I get it. Some people think that way. And some people think the opposite. It's like, no, go ahead, film yourself. It's like, I hope I'm out of your shot. I just get out of your shot. That's all. Like, I don't want to step in front of your camera. Like, I see other people filming themselves. I see the look on their face. In the Western world, I'll give you an example. In the Western world, when people film themselves in like a gym, they're conscious of the people around them. They're looking for the Karens. I notice. They're looking around and seeing, like, who's a Karen that's going to snap at me for filming myself? That kind of look. The apprehensive look. Anxious look. In the Western world. But if you go to Asia, everyone's filming themselves in the gym, like in a private gym. They're filming YouTube, filming Instagram, filming TikTok, whatever. Over there in, like, for example, Korea, they're social media friendly over there. Like, they will film in public. And it's encouraged, right? It's like, oh, there's the vlogger here, YouTuber there, and TikToker there, social media over here. That's fine, right? It's a encouraging atmosphere in Korea, in Thailand as well. A lot of content creators in Thailand. But in the Western world, if you film in a public place in a gym, people get so offended. It's that attitude, like, don't film in the gym. So, I'm filming for you guys so I can teach you guys. This is how I train. It's raw, it's hard, it's grit, And it's, ooh, there you go. See, I'm not showing off here. This is how I train my handstand press. Like there are different ways to train handstand press. You can do it from the floor, which is hard because you don't have room for your legs to swing. You can train it from a dip bar. You have room for your legs to swing. But what if the dip bar is occupied? Someone's using a dip bar. You can do it on a bench. You can use it with dumbbells. This is what I'm showing you. There are different ways to skin a cat. See? Those people in the background, they're just like, Calisthenics is new and very small still. It's a very small niche. Online, like, online calisthenics gets a lot of views. It's big. But in real life, calisthenics is very small. It's a very small niche. Like, not many people understand body weight fitness. Based on my experience, especially in the West. Places like Bulgaria, like, yeah, calisthenics and gymnastics is more commonplace. In Europe, in Eastern Europe specifically, Eastern Europe, gymnastics and calisthenics is more common compared to Canada. Canada, there's nobody. Very small. And yet, more people just know what gymnastics is by watching the Olympics. Like, they say Olympics, their brain goes into viewership mode. Doing a handstand on a dumbbell must look really cool in the gym. Here's my thought. Is it cool? Kind of, I guess. I never think of it that way. Right? For me, I'm working on a narrow press. Right? So, for example, when you do a handstand press using dip bars, your grip is like this. Right? It's like a medium grip. When you do a handstand press from dumbbells, you're using a narrow grip. Doing a handstand press using a narrow grip is much harder. And you can't do that on a traditional dip bar. So that's why I use the dumbbells. I had to find a way, a creative way to do narrow handstand presses. And the option that I found was dumbbells, using dumbbells. So when I do this exercise using the dumbbells, I don't really think about anyone else. Like, when you do a handstand, in my mind, it's like being in the zone. Like, everything else fades. Time and space fades. People around you fades. Nothing exists outside of you and the handstand, right? This is me, and this is the dumbbell as one. See? I don't think about, oh, that guy behind me, or that girl looking at me, or this guy laughing at me. No, I'm not thinking that. All I'm thinking about is me and the dumbbells and my handstand. That's it. So when you do something where you concentrate really hard, okay, imagine you're doing something like, I don't know, like, imagine you're firing a gun at a target, right? Like the Olympics, that Turkish guy, that cool Turkish guy with firing the gun. When you're performing this action and you're firing a gun at a target, are you thinking about each and every person in the stands, in the audience watching you? No. It's just you and the gun and the target. That's how I think when I do this handstand, right? It's just me and the dumbbell and the handstand. So everything else just is not registered in my mind. And it builds that mental toughness, right? You need to get out of your comfort zone. It's like, don't pay attention to anyone else. Like, that's the first thing that's hard about doing a handstand. You're worried. Most beginners are scared to do handstand or muscle up or whatever because they're scared of the people around them judging them or laughing at them, snickering at them. All that stuff just fades. And a lot of people do that to me. Like, they do it. Like, they laugh at me, they sneer at me, snicker at me, talk behind my back, talk shit behind my back. I ignore them all, okay? It's just me and my exercise. Okay, so this is me doing a Smith machine squats. So, me and squats, I'm not a heavy squat lifter, obviously. Do I do squats? Yes, I do. Squats are good for jumping. It's good for everything. Boxing, like, I have to be well-rounded, like an athlete. So I do squats the way an athlete does it, right? Not too heavy, not too light. Just get your legs toned and in shape. So me, I start off like from 0, and I increase gradually like an airplane. Airplane set goes like this. That's airplane set for me. From the runway, take off, accelerate, up into the sky, peak, then gradually descend. That's me. That's to me is an airplane set. This is how I do it. Right? It's not glamorous. It takes a long time. So imagine you're doing this kind of workout, airplane sets. And as you are doing this, people are constantly coming up to you and saying, bro, how many more sets you got left? Bro, how many more sets you got left? Imagine you're doing airplane sets, like, I don't know, 25, 35, however long it takes. It's going to take 20, 30 minutes maybe. Then people get pissed off because I say I don't count the sets. And I'm not slowing down. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible so that I can let other people use the machine. So I'm mindful of everyone. I'm respectful, and I try to hurry up. So I don't idle, is what I'm saying. I don't play around with my smartphone like I see a lot of culprits in the gym. They hog a machine and they just sit there in the machine and they play with their smartphone on the machine. The better thing to do is to do one set, and then if you're going to play with your phone, then walk away and let someone else occupy it and then come back. But you can see me, I'm not taking breaks. That's the problem. I don't take breaks and I just keep going. This is HIIT, HIIT, high intensity interval training, nonstop. Keep going, no breaks, right? And if I am doing it, see what I'm doing? Stretching, right? But I'm not at the machine, so I'm away from the machine. So if someone wanted to use it, go ahead. And I let people in if they have to. But here's the problem. Sometimes when you let people in to use a squat rack or the Smith machine, they're doing a completely different exercise. So they need a different setup. So for example, like hip thrusts, then they need to set up the machine differently. That is a problem. So it depends on what machine and what exercise the other person is trying to do when they step in. Like for example, a dip station, yeah, go ahead, work in. I know what you're going to do. There's no way you're going to alter this machine or this setup. But for squat racks and Smith machines, people have different workouts. Like squat, they're doing squats, they're doing bench, hip thrust, they're doing deadlift. They need to set it up differently. They have to take the weights off, right? So that's the problem. That is the problem when you let other people work in. And another problem is, think of it as like you're eating in a crowded cafeteria. Okay, you're eating in a crowded cafeteria, and then someone walks up to you while you're eating and says, "Can I sit here and eat?" And I've had that happen. I've had that happen to me in Thailand, Malaysia. I was in a busy food court. I was minding my own business. I was just eating quietly. And then, I don't know, this family would stand in front of me and say, "Can we sit here?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." So they would sit at my table and they would eat in front of me and beside me, and they would start yakking and chatting. And then they just took over the table like roaches. So what did I do? I had to get up, stand up, and eat my meal standing up. That's the problem. When you let people work in, sometimes they take over what you were doing. So that's what I'm saying. Going back to that guy who's just standing there like a statue for 20 minutes waiting for the squat rack. Find other ways. Find creative ways. It's like, I don't interrupt anyone and I just wait my turn. If there's an empty Smith machine, I'll take it. This is me doing tiger bends using a bench. I'm just getting used to that feeling. So this is me like, okay, my brain needs a break from this, so it needs to go over here mode. And I'm just pacing, walking around, thinking. Just like an athlete, you know, the ref calls timeout. Right? Game is paused. Basketball game, I don't know, NBA. Athletes, they don't sit and play with their smartphones between during breaks or intermissions. Athletes, they pace, they walk around, they think. They're always thinking, constantly thinking, walking around, thinking, right? Trying to visualize what's going to happen next, strategizing. And that's what's going on in my head. Okay, I'm doing calf raises, using a treadmill. This is good. Calf raise, single leg calf raise, each machine, because my Achilles tendons are still in pain. So this is a good way to stretch them out. Athletes are constantly thinking. They're not playing with their smartphone. They're thinking. And that's what you need to do. When you're in the gym, when you're training, you need to constantly think, strategize. Think of your next set. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. Plan it. Prepare. Blah, 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 blah. Boom. 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 Okay. Now, do I do heavy squats? No. Is there a need for large legs in men? No, I don't think so. Here's why. If you have large legs as a man, it's hard for you to kick. Think of it. Like if you had really large legs, try to throw a roundhouse kick multiple times. You'll notice that it's harder to throw the kick. It's going to be slower. It's harder to lift that leg up. And your leg will get tired more easily because it needs more oxygen. All those muscles in your legs, bigger muscles, need more oxygen. So you notice that Muay Thai fighters, they have lean legs. They don't have big legs like bodybuilders. They just have lean legs. You notice that soccer players, they have lean legs because they run all the time. They don't have big legs. If they had big legs, then they would be too slow. They can't catch up to their opponents. So think of it that way. Like an athlete, like a fighter, as a man, you need lean legs, fast legs. Bruce Lee had really lean legs, but he had really fast and strong, effective kicks. So think of it like this, if it doesn't make sense. You and I have a duel, a man-to-man duel, okay? Instead of drawing pistols, we're drawing sticks, okay? So you have a sledgehammer in your hands, and I have a bamboo stick in my hands. On the count of 3, we each get one swing at each other. Who's going to win? It's the person who draws their weapon out first, makes contact with the opponent first. Bamboo stick is going to reach your face before your sledgehammer reaches my face. Obviously, you can see it. So what I'm saying is, don't neglect your legs like calisthenics do. Like calisthenics athletes, they completely neglect their legs. Like, yeah, they'll do pistol squats. By the way, I love doing pistol squats. I got to work on my pistol squats. But calisthenics, their belief is that the skinnier or smaller your legs are, or don't train your legs at all, is because if you wanted to perform exercises like the planche or the front lever, you need as little weight as possible for your lower body. which I agree. If I were a calisthenics athlete, but I'm not a calisthenics athlete. I do front levers, I do planches, I do those things, but I believe in training the legs as a martial artist, as an athlete. Okay, so guys, just train your legs, but don't have to be big legs. You don't have to go heavy legs. I don't understand this culture of guys going for big legs. So, as you can see, I'm still on this machine, nonstop, no breaks. Airplane set, like, see how far the weight has gone up? Up and up. Up and up and up. Just gradually increase, and it's going to gradually decrease, which is interesting. See, pacing, strategizing. This is me pacing, thinking, constantly thinking, focusing. So that's what I like about Planet Fitness. You get time and space. But I have to quit Planet Fitness because they won't allow me to film. People keep telling me to stop filming, so I gotta stop. And I'm gonna try another gym out. I won't tell you what gym it is, but this gym that I'm going to try out does allow filming, so I'll keep you posted. I think you probably, maybe you know this gym. I'll keep you posted though. So I'm going to be relocating to a new gym soon. Pacing, stretching. If nothing, stretch. Okay, your muscles are filled with blood. You can tear something. You can pull a muscle. Just be careful. See, this is me like hitting the muscle because it might sprain something. The foam rollers in Planet Fitness suck, by the way. They're just too soft. Foam rollers, to me, if you're going to use a foam roller, get the one with jagged edges. The ones that are hard and with spikes on them. Those are the really effective foam rollers because you really need to dig into your muscle fibers, your muscle tissue. And these really soft foam rollers, they do nothing for me. Because my muscles are dense, right? If you have soft, weak muscles, they'll work for you. But if you have hard, dense muscles, like a fighter athlete, you need like really spiky hard foam rollers to just dig into your muscle fibers, those dense, tight muscle fibers. And you notice like, oh, are you going low enough, Justin? I'm not going ass to grass because I don't have weightlifting shoes. I'm not using a plate at the bottom. I'm just using regular running shoes. So my heels are going to lift up, obviously, if I go lower than that. So do I want to go parallel? Yeah, I should go parallel. But again, it's all about feeling. Some days you can pull it off. Other days, your body's like, this is enough. Okay? Don't go further. Don't hurt yourself. Don't strain yourself. And here's the thing. Is pain necessary in training? My answer is no. Pain is not necessary. Grit is necessary. There's a difference. If you train for pain, you're just crippling yourself. If you train for grit, you're toughening yourself. Do you understand the difference? Grit is completely different. Grit is pushing through things. But grit is not killing yourself in the process. Okay? You don't have to cripple yourself in every exercise. Go for 110%. No, you don't have to. You can ease back, is what I'm saying. You have to be flexible. Flexible, like water. So be flexible. Pacing. This was a good this was a good workout. No one bothered me. No one interrupted me. I got to do my workout. Just purely focused. I liked it. Okay. Other days, other gyms, I get harassed by 10, 20 people asking the same thing. God, how many more sets you got left? How many more sets? It's like, I wish there was like an arcade feature. You know, remember when we used to play Street Fighter 2 in the arcade? Like the next person that wanted to play, the next person that was in line, just put the quarter on the top of the counter. That's all you need. A quarter, a wait system, waiting list system. Just sign your name in or something. Put a quarter on the counter. I wish there was that. Instead of just constantly like doing admin shit. Like, okay, someone comes in, more says, go like, oh, that guy's waiting, or that guy's next, or they are next, or that statue in the corner is staring at me for 20 minutes. He's next, kind of attitude. And there's this guy, I forgot his name. The guy who says mind your business. The guy who does the moral authority on gyms. I forgot his name. That guy's really small though. He's a bodybuilder. That guy was involved in a scandal too. So I don't trust that guy. One, because he's on chemicals, and two, he was involved in a big scandal. Yeah, some of his opinions I agree with, and some I don't. Okay? Letting people work in is what he advocates. It's like, yeah, sometimes there's a gray line. Sometimes, yeah, it depends on what. I don't let any. It's like, should you let people bother you when you're in a food court eating and let them sit at your table? Think about that. Should you bother people in a crowded cafe asking them how many more sips you got left so you can sit down and drink your coffee? Again, I don't agree with that. So, being creative, finding other ways around, taking an alternate route. You don't have to be stuck in rush hour traffic like everyone else on Monday. And Monday is the worst day to train, by the way. Monday is the worst day to train anything that involves a squat rack or a Smith machine, because that's what everyone's thinking, the same thing on Monday. I'm going to do legs, I'm going to do chest, I'm going to do deadlift with the barbell, squat rack, the Smith machine. And there's a long lineup. So I avoid those things on a Monday. And I avoid Mondays if I can. Train on a Sunday, train on a Tuesday. This is going to go on and on. As you can see, I'm doing airplane. Now I'm descending the plane. So I'm going to do a part 2. This video is quite long. So leave your questions down below so I can answer them in the next one. And I'm going to end it here.